What's up, everybody on YouTube? Today I want to talk about LEDs, LED decks for your scooter. So most people buy LED decks from carbonrevo.com. They make really good LED decks, like they're laser cut, things like that. But when you buy an LED deck from Carbon Revo or wherever you're buying it, they're not cheap, right? They cost anywhere from $500 to $700 depending on what type of work you're doing, custom work. This one is the I guess they call it the Carbon Revo Lynchburg. It has the Dualtron Thunder with the lightning bolts, everything like that. What you're looking at is inside the LED deck. So I am currently working on an LED deck for my scooter. I have this one, but I also have another one. So I opened this one up, and basically this is what you'll see when you open up any of the Carbon Revo LED decks. So I want to give you guys a simple explanation of what's happening here so you understand. First of all, to open one up when you get them from Carbon, there's a back plate, right? This back plate comes with them, and there are little tiny screws. You take off the screws and you can open it up. What's inside? Well, you have basically two cutouts on each side. There's a laser cutout here, like a groove that's cut into the LED. And there's another groove that's cut into this LED here, okay? And that's the pockets where the LED strips can fit. There's two sets of LED on each side. So there's one set here, and there's another set here. The purpose is, again, to shine light all the way through the deck. So you'll have two sets on one side, one facing this way, another one facing, the other way, this way, so they shine. And then you have the same thing here, one facing this way and the other one facing that way. Pretty simple stuff, right? Now, another thing about Carbon Revo is the LEDs supposed to go all the way around. So they start from the edge here, right? They go all the way around to shine light. But Carbon does have a habit of cutting them a little short sometimes. So you see this one pretty much gets to the end here, but this one is cut short. Now, part of the reason is because when you buy LEDs, if you ever worked with LEDs, these are 12 volt silicone sealed LEDs. Silicone meaning there's a silicone seal here so that water can't get through, which is great, right? That's what you want to see. Also, they're 12 volts, meaning that for most scooters you'll have 12 volts where you can connect these two directly inside your scooter. If they were 5 volt LEDs, they would be smaller, and you cannot connect 12 volts to 5 volt LEDs, because then you're going to burn the whole strip out, right? So it's important to know what type of LEDs you're dealing with inside your deck in case something burns out. You know which ones to buy and replace. Now, outside of that, yes, they are cut a little short by Carbon Revo. What does that mean? Well, when you cut them short, the light will shine, but there will be small pockets where it's not as bright as the other pockets, right? When the LED is shining here, this is all bright, but then if you cut it short, this may not be as bright. Yes, part of the reason is because you can only cut them in certain areas, like right here. So when they're making these LEDs, sometimes they can't appropriately cut it in the right size. Maybe the cut point was here and not here, so they cut it here. Okay, so can you fix it? Is it a big deal? Not really. Yes, you could fix it. How do you fix it? Well, you buy your own LEDs and you replace it. Another thing about LEDs, LED 101, is that yes, these are 12 volt LEDs, but these are 3-pin LEDs. And by 3-pin, I mean there's 3 wires here. Okay, so this one, they're all 3-wire LEDs. There's a 12 volt red wire for power. The middle one is usually the data wire. The data wire feeds basically to an LED controller that tells them which color you want to change. And then there's the ground wire, typically the black or the ground that feeds. So these are 3-wire LEDs. Some LEDs are 4-wire. Okay, so it's good to know which LEDs you're dealing with. These are 3-wire. So the simple thing of it is you have 4 strips total connected to an LED controller. Carbon Revo uses this as an LED controller. Okay, this small little device. This is a Bluetooth LED controller that connects to an application on your phone. So you actually don't need a physical remote. On Amazon, you can buy LED controllers that are 12 volts, but they usually are either a remote to change the colors, or some of them may be through the phone. The problem is, let's say you buy Carbon Revo stuff, you buy their tail, you buy their thing. You want everything controlled by your phone. So you can't use other LED controllers because then you can't control everything through your phone. It has to be the Carbon Revo one that they provide here. Now, I don't know what type of brand they use. Maybe they buy something cheap from somewhere, right? I mean, I think Carbon Revo is in another country, obviously, in Singapore or something like that. So whichever one they're using, I have no idea. So it's hard to get these as standalone or find them online unless Carbon would tell me which one they use. Nonetheless, I want to use this LED controller for my new deck. I have a new deck. So that way the deck and my fender all are on the same application on my phone. So which is why I open up the deck here. Okay. And if I wanted to ever replace these LEDs, like if this LED burned out, all I would have to do is cut here, these wires, make note of which wire goes to 12 volts, which one is the middle one for data, and which one is the ground. And then I go on Amazon and I buy a roll of 12 volt LEDs that are silicone protected. This is an entire roll here. It costs about $55, so it's relatively cheap. And these are similar LEDs to what Carbon uses, probably a little bit better. So they're also silicone sealed. You can cut them anywhere. They are 3-pin, right? 3-wire right there. Sorry if it doesn't focus, but they're 3-pin. You've got 12 volts, you've got the middle one for data, and then you've got the ground here. So all I gotta do is resolder those wires onto these to match, and then this one would work. Okay, so if I wanted to recut them and resize them, I can do my own LEDs, you know, resolder the wires, and then they would work. Okay, so you can buy these rolls on Amazon. Again, these are 12 volts LEDs right there, silicone sealed. Okay, so these are nice and they're about the same size as the Carbon ones that they use. Pretty much. See the sizing? Pretty much the same size. Okay, but that's not my intention. My intention is to take this Bluetooth receiver and put it to a new deck that I have. Okay, so I need to basically cut some of these wires and reconnect the Bluetooth receiver to my new LED deck. My new LED deck is already on my scooter. It's already connected to 12 volts. I already did all the LED work, except that the Bluetooth receiver is not the one that Carbon gives, because this deck did not come from Carbon. Okay, so the Bluetooth receiver is actually controlled by this remote. Okay, but that's not what I want. I don't want to be flipping colors with my remote. Okay, I can turn it off here. I can turn it on. Right? I don't want to be flipping colors through my remote. I want to be able to do it through my phone, just like the back fender is controlled, just like the tail is controlled, and just like the stem. My stem, my deck, the back footrest, and the tail are all going to be connected to the Bluetooth receiver that Carbon Revo gives. The only difference is that this has its own Bluetooth receiver. This is connected to this Bluetooth receiver, so these come up as two devices. This one would be connected with the deck, so it'll come up as another device, two devices. Well, another device, let's say. But I have to make that change. I don't want to use the remote. Okay, this is a nice new deck. This is not from Carbon Revo. It's custom deck. Okay. So it's nice, it's bright. I actually put 12 volt LEDs in there because it came with 5 volts, right? And I don't want 5 volts, I want to connect 12 volts. So I already changed the LEDs in that deck. The only thing I need to do is change the LED controller, which is this one. Okay. If I ever get another LED controller, I'm just going to put it back here, put everything back together, and this will be still a good Carbon Revo deck. Just wanted to make this video for those who are working with LEDs and to understand how LEDs work inside your Dualtron, what it looks like inside. It's basically simple. It's a cutout. It's not anything complicated. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Let me know. Peace out.